All right, let's get right into it. If you're a security or IT pro, you know that the PCIP certification is a big deal. It's a huge step up for your career. But let's be real for a second. The exam is tough. It demands a serious, deep understanding of the PCI data security standard, and trying to prep for it while juggling a full-time job can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. That's exactly what we're going to break down and solve right now. So this is the big question, isn't it? How do you actually conquer this thing without putting your entire life and career on hold? How do you study smarter, using the skills you already have as a professional? This isn't about finding cheats or shortcuts. It's about building a solid, strategic framework for success. The goal here is to take all that pre-exam stress and turn it into a clear, confident plan you can actually execute. Okay, here's how we're going to do it. We've laid this out as a 5-part roadmap based on some fantastic expert material about how to tackle complex technical exams. We'll start with a big picture, your roadmap. Then we'll dive into 3 phases. Phase 1 is about building your blueprint. Phase 2 is all about mastering the material. And Phase 3 is what to do in that final stretch. Then we'll wrap it all up with what I like to call the PCIP golden rule. Seriously, it's the most important piece of advice you'll get. So first up, let's talk about the roadmap itself. Look, we're not just making a simple to-do list here. The whole point is to take a bunch of great tips and transform them into a real strategic framework, one you can manage just like you would any other critical project at work. And really, this is the key. Anybody can Google study tips. But for professionals like us, that's just not going to cut it. We don't run major projects off of simple lists, right? We use plans, we have phases, we hit milestones. We need a system. That's exactly what we're putting together here, a phased, actionable study plan built specifically for the PCICP exam. And that brings us to Phase 1, building your blueprint. Think of this as your project kickoff. Seriously, before you even think about opening the PCI DSS doc, you've got to lay this groundwork. Skipping these steps, that's like trying to build a secure network without an architecture diagram. It's chaotic, it's unprofessional, and let's be honest, it's destined to fail. So, this blueprint phase rests on 4 key pillars from our expert material. First, define a crystal clear goal. Second, build a realistic schedule that actually works with your life. Third, secure a dedicated study space, your command center. And fourth, you have to be ruthless about eliminating distractions before they even start. And look, these aren't just nice-to-haves, they're the non-negotiable foundation for getting any real deep work down. Now, when we say define your goal, we can do better than just study for the PCIP. As professionals, we use frameworks, and the SMART framework is perfect for this. Your goals need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This is how you turn a vague idea like get better at PCI into a concrete task you can actually track and complete. It's the difference between hoping you'll make progress and actually engineering it. And here is a perfect example of what that looks like in the real world. My goal is to score 85% on a practice exam covering PCI DSS requirements 3 and 4 by next Friday. See how strong that is? It's specific, requirements 3 and 4, which are all about protecting cardholder data and encryption. It's measurable. 85% is a clear target. It's achievable, you're tackling one focused area, not the whole standard. It's obviously relevant, and it's time-bound by next Friday. That creates a real deadline. This is how you manage your studying like a pro. Okay, with our blueprint in place, it's time for Phase 2, mastering the material. Now that our schedule is set and our goals are clear, we can really dig into the content. This phase is all about the techniques that turn you from someone who just reads the material into someone who truly understands it. This is where the learning really happens. And the main idea here is simple. It is not about how many hours you clock in. It's about the quality of what you do in those hours. Come on, we've all been there. You stare at a book for 3 hours and then realize you haven't absorbed a single thing. That's a total waste of your most valuable asset, your time. This phase is about making every single minute count. This slide nails the difference. Over on the left, you've got passive stuff, rereading, highlighting a video, and just kind of hoping it all sticks. And on the right, that's active learning. This is where you actually wrestle with the concepts. You ask questions, you try to summarize it in your own words, you try to explain it to someone else. Hey, even the rubber duck on your desk counts. This is the huge shift from just consuming information to truly owning that knowledge. So, what does this look like for the PCIP? Well, here are some great examples. Don't just read about data flow, draw it out on a whiteboard. Don't just see all those acronyms. Make flashcards for SAQ, the Self-Assessment Questionnaire, or QSA, the Qualified Security Assessor. Read one of those dense guidance docs, then close it and try to write a summary from memory. And this is a big one. Ask yourself, what if? What if this was in the cloud? What if a key vendor got breached? This is what actually builds the strong connections in your brain. It all boils down to this single idea. Don't just consume the information. Engage with it. And that ties right into taking good notes. Your notes shouldn't just be a copy of what you're reading. That's busy work. Your notes should be your questions, your summaries, your ideas. They should be the record of you actively thinking about and connecting the dots. Another super powerful technique is using visual aids. Our brains are just wired to remember images way better than text. So instead of just reading about network segmentation, draw it. Show this CDE, the cardholder data environment, all firewalled off. To really get SAQ eligibility, don't just memorize the types. Create a decision tree that walks you through the logic. This stuff makes abstract concepts real and way easier to remember. All right, we've got our blueprint and we're actively learning the material. Now we hit phase 3, the final stretch. This is all about managing you, your brain, your body, your own system resources. It's about optimizing your performance and, most importantly, avoiding burnout as exam day gets closer. You wouldn't redline a server for weeks straight, so don't do it to yourself. This chart is a great way to visualize a healthy, high-performance study session. Notice that the actual studying is only about 60% of it. The rest is the support structure that makes the studying effective. Short breaks, staying hydrated, and rewarding yourself for the hard work. If you ignore these things, it's like running a server at 100% CPU all day, every day. A crash isn't just a possibility, it's inevitable. So let's be super clear. Taking breaks, drinking water, and rewarding yourself are not luxuries. They are high-performance habits. That scheduled 10-minute break, that's not being lazy. It's a strategic move to reset your focus so you can come back stronger. Staying hydrated is critical for your brain to function properly. And rewarding yourself after hitting a tough goal, that's just smart psychology to keep you motivated and moving forward. Okay, we've gone through the framework, the learning techniques, the performance habits. All of these things are powerful tools to have, but they all depend on one final, absolute principle. This is what I'm calling the PCIP golden rule. It's the single most important piece of advice you will hear, and everything else we've talked about relies on it. Think about it. All the flowcharts, all the flashcards, all the perfectly scheduled study sessions, they're all designed to help you understand a specific body of knowledge. They're the tools, not the raw material, and their power depends entirely on one single, non-negotiable action. And there it is, the golden rule, straight from our source material. It is vital that you read the PCI DSS version 4.0.1 documents and supplemental documentation on the PCI SSC website. This is the source of truth. All the study tricks in the world are just there to help you understand this information. They are a supplement to, never a replacement for, reading the primary source documents from the Council. Here's probably the best way to think about it. The 3-phase framework we just built, that's your high-performance vehicle, totally engineered for success. But even the best car in the world isn't going anywhere without fuel. The official PCI documents, the DSS, the guidance, everything on the SSC website, that's your fuel. You absolutely need both to get where you're going. So we'll end with a question for you. You've got the framework, you know the phases, you have the golden rule, the path is laid out. The only thing missing is action. So, looking back at phase 1, building your blueprint, what is the first concrete step you are going to take today to start your PCIP plan? Is it writing that first SMART goal, blocking out time on your calendar? Whatever it is, the time to start is right now. Good luck.